Hello, welcome to How to Draw Celtic Knots Part 2 with your host, Jason Bellchamber. Today I'd like to show you how to draw a Pictish symbol called the Crescent V, or the Crescent V-rod. Here's a nice illustration of one from the Brumand of Crisci stone, and here is an abstract dolphin shape. Both of these are only found on Pictish artifacts, and the Picts were the tribe of Celts that lived in northeast Scotland. There's about 300 fragments or whole stones left from the Pictish period, which was from about 1900 to 1100 years ago. Here's a photograph of that same stone from 1917. And you can see the Crescent V and then that abstract dolphin shape. The abstract dolphin is the most common symbol on Pictish stones, whereas the Crescent V is the second most common icon. Interestingly enough, the two stones set symmetrically behind this symbol stone can tell you about its usefulness. Right here is a Pictish Christian cross from Aberlemno. This is both sides of Aberlemno stone number 4. And up here you can still see that nice Crescent V, and below it is a variant of the Z-rod. It's a double disc Z-rod. It's the third most common shape, the different variants of the Z-rod. But both of these used together, I think, can be used as a Farmers Almanac to tell you when to plant and when to harvest and what day the Winter Solstice occurs. And I can show you how. Using different trigonometry formula, I constructed a stereographic sunpath diagram of where the Aberlemno stone is, and it occurs at 56.69 degrees longitude and minus 2.78 degrees latitude. And I looked at the Winter Solstice, which is basically about December 21st or so, March 22nd, which is the equinox, when the day and night are equal, September 23rd, which is your fall equinox, is the next time in the year when the day and night are equal, as well as June 22nd, which is the first day of summer, your summer solstice. If you make a small illustration of, we'll say, the Aberlemno stone, and this points north, so you're looking at its south side. If you use it as a gnomon, using the shadow lengths during the year, you can also construct a Crescent V. At December 20th, on your winter solstice, your sun comes up at 8:53 in the morning, and it sets at 15:23 in the afternoon. Your hours of daylight are about 7.3. Now, at solar noon, that's when your shadow points directly north, and that occurs at about 12:09, and your shadow length is going to be 5.76 times your height. So, let's use that as your radius. We're drawing a circle that would have a radius, and we'll just pretend that the radius equals 5.76 times your height. On December 21st, like I said, your sun comes up at 8:53. It comes up at an azimuth of 136.47 degrees, which is approximately over here. It sets at 15:23 at an azimuth of minus 36.47, which is right here. your first shadow goes in this direction. Your last shadow of the day points in this direction. Now let's go to your equinoxes. March 22nd. Your sun comes up at 6:17 in the morning at a solar azimuth of 89.74, which is right about there, almost 90 degrees. It sets at 18:18 in the afternoon at an azimuth of minus 89.74. Again, right across over here, just about 90 degrees. If you take your compass and use this radius and construct a crescent shape, you've also got a Crescent V, constructed by calculating the shadows. September 21st, or rather September 23, which is your fall equinox, the sun comes up at 6:02, also at an azimuth of 89.63, which is basically right about there. And it sets at 18:04 in the afternoon at negative 89.63 azimuth. The reason why these dates are important is because, according to several agricultural websites from Scotland, the growing season in Scotland starts plus or minus 5 days on the spring equinox. And you want to harvest because the growing season in Scotland ends about 37 to 45 days after September 23rd. So, at different points of the year, when the sun starts making a shadow at this angle, and you've got two keystones here, when your first shadow hits the top of your other keystone, you can tell the Winter Solstice, an important date in Celtic history, and you can also tell the first day of spring, when your shadow points in this direction, as well as the first day of fall, when your shadow is also at this point. Important days in when to plant and when to harvest.